This is a staple of Southern food. A lot of times this is associated with, it's made with ham fat or bacon fat, okay? That's beyond the scope of this show, being Vegetarian Kitchen, but it's basically the same. You know, I'm using cooking oil, I could use butter, but it's all, you know, this is one of the staples. And you have to remember, when you're making a Southern meal, okay, something that, all right, now see how it's getting thicker? It's starting to get there, see? I like a fairly thick gravy because what I want to do is take these hush puppies and dip them, use this gravy as a dipping sauce. But you can see now it's starting to thicken up. Now I'm just going to add a tiny bit more of this roux, okay? Just a little bit, yeah, and it'll thicken up. Anyway, what I was saying about a Southern meal. Anytime, I'll lower the heat here and I'll let this cook, just let it simmer. That's all there is to this. You can do whatever you want with this. This is basically in French a bechamel sauce. Okay, you can add white wine, you can add vegetables, you can add a lot of seasonings, you can add tomato paste. For a Southern meal, see how this is thick? Let's see. This is where you want it, okay? Just comes off like that. It's nice and shiny, silky smooth. This will be an excellent gravy for your hush puppies. Okay, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about a Southern meal. I'm going to continue this thought, and we're going to make a couple more dishes. So stick with us. We'll be back. Okay, now, next thing I want to make a dessert. Okay, this is something I invented myself. It's a pudding made with grits and molasses. Okay, this is good. You're gonna love this one. Okay, but what I'm gonna do is, first thing, I start out with a 1/4 pound or 1 stick of butter. Okay, put it into a pan to melt. All right, get this good and hot. What I'm going to do is I take 1/4 cup, 4 tablespoons, 1/4 cup of grits, okay? Put them right in there. Now I want to cook these grits in the butter just a little bit. What will happen is the grits absorb a little bit of the butter. And what that does, that will help to give a creamy texture instead of a sticky texture in your mouth. It's important. Okay, next thing I'll do, let this run like that. I take a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, okay? So I just measure it with a tablespoon measure, 4 tablespoons, approximately, okay? 2 tablespoons of molasses, all right? I have a nice medium color molasses. For this, I would probably not recommend that you use a blackstrap molasses. The flavor is too strong, it's just too intense. 2 cups of milk. The flavor of this is real caramely, it's rich, it has the flavor of the grits really, it doesn't come through in a corn way, it just has a nice smooth texture. It's really nice on your tongue. And look at the color, and you can see the color. It's like caramel. It's really good. This is an excellent pudding. And since this has a rich flavor, I like to take some fresh strawberries and slice up fresh strawberries. Once this cools, put it into a bowl and put strawberries all around there and top it with pecans. Okay, the taste is just unbeatable. This dish maybe more than any of the others that I'm going to be cooking in this show and the next, typifies a southern taste. This brings you to Georgia, North Carolina. Okay, this is just an awesome dessert. Anyway, enough of that. So what you want to do is let this come to a boil and let this cook and let it thicken up. Okay? It'll take a few minutes. This actually cooks pretty quick. And all the butter will disappear, it'll all absorb. And as this cooks, it'll just thicken, and you can stop it. You can make this, you can cook this down so it's real thick like a porridge, or you can cook it so that it's a little thinner. It's really up to your taste. I like it to have a more or less a pudding texture, you know, that's why I call it that. So I stop it just as it's starting to get thick enough that you can spoon it up, and it'll hold to a spoon. It won't run. It's not like soup, okay, but it isn't like oatmeal or like polenta, say, you know. But you see how it's coming to a boil, and you can cook it at a high heat if you're in a hurry. You can cook it at a low heat, let it go. This is, you know, as long as you don't burn it, let it scorch. This is very forgiving. This is not high tech. This is not rocket science here. This is just a real simple pudding. See how it goes? It expands, you know. Give yourself a pan with enough room so it'll foam just a little bit. So you don't want it to boil over. Always when you're cooking, give yourself enough room. See how it's thickening up? The texture, you know, the grits have a little bit of a chewiness to them, but not too much, you know. This is good. You're going to like this. When you make this for your guests. Oh, before I forget, I was mentioning, any southern dinner, like a Sunday afternoon southern dinner, you can expect to have, these are standard things, a big old bowl of mashed potatoes. I don't have to show you how to make mashed potatoes. A big bowl of peas, buttered peas, okay? You want to have either green beans or whatever else vegetable is in season. And if it's summertime and you have fresh cucumbers and good tomatoes from your garden, have a bowl of sliced cucumbers and tomatoes, maybe a little bit of vinegar and oil, maybe a little sugar on those. Sweet things are nice. All right, now see how this is thickening up? What I would do, since I have time constraints here, I'm in a little bit of a hurry, but what I'm going to do is take a little bit of a break, and I'll show you how to arrange this with some strawberries, and we'll get a serving of what we've made so far. We'll get that together, and then unfortunately we're going to have to bring this show, the first half of this show, the Southern show, to an end. I'm sorry to say, I love cooking this stuff. Okay, see how it is? See one last shot of this? Okay, it's thickening up. So I'm just going to turn the heat down, let this simmer, and I'll get some strawberries and some pecans and join you in a second, okay? Okay, so there we have our hush puppies, our gravy, and our grits and molasses pudding. And one last thing real quick, I want to show you how I'm going to cut this strawberry. Okay, take this just like that. Okay, don't cut through the end, and I take it and just make a little fan. Alright, okay, and then I'll serve it like that. Put this on my bowl of pudding, and we're all set. Okay, so join me next time. We're going to continue cooking some more Southern food. It's going to be fun. So see you again at Vegetarian Kitchen.